Hey Lipsey Guns fans, it's Jason and Chris here today, and we're real excited to talk about the new Smith Wesson M&P 22 Magnum semi-automatic pistol. We took this gun out at the range yesterday, and I tell you what, I've had this much fun shooting a small caliber 22 Magnum in a long time. This gun, we've shot over 200 rounds yesterday of CCI, Maxi-Mag ammunition, and CCI Gold Dot 22 Magnum, and I tell you what, not only did the gun perform, it shot awesome.
Yeah. I mean, no hiccups on our end. I mean, it was a blast to shoot, easy to shoot, which is always nice, and performed like a Smith & Wesson should.
Yep, we took it straight out of the box, didn't do anything to it, loaded it up. I tell you what, I was a little concerned because I looked in the box and there was no magazine loader. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. This was the absolute easiest magazine to load. I was shocked how easy this thing was to load. Even all the way to 30 rounds.
Yeah.
It was, it didn't get stiff halfway down or anything like that. Super easy. 100% reliable, super accurate. I tell you what, this gun is super easy to shoot. We tested the trigger pull on this thing and it averaged about 3¼ pounds on the trigger pull average. It's a hammer fired gun, it's not a striker. So really easy to manipulate the slide. It is optics cut, so direct mount, one of your classic kind of like K series size or Shield series red dot on there. It's got a great green fiber optic sight, just a black U-notch rear sight. Real easy sight picture, real clean, not cluttered. Yeah. You got the rail on there, you want to put a light on it. Since it's a hammer fired gun, this one does come with a manual safety, so it is ambidextrous. It's very positive, very easy to manipulate. The tab's pretty low profile, so one thing I would like to have is maybe a little bit bigger tab on there to be a little more positive, but really it's pretty easy to function. The slide release is ambidextrous. The texturing on the gun, it's got a good texture. It's not super grippy.
It's not real aggressive.
But yesterday we were shooting, it was in the 90s and it was super humid out there. It had just rained.
Yeah, it's very aggressive. I mean, it's low profile, so it doesn't catch too much in your hands. But it was hot out there yesterday, so sweating and everything. I mean, we didn't have any slippage or anything like that with the grip. So the texture's spot on.
We shot this gun for probably about 2 hours, and I tell you what, they were the hand. You never felt like it was squirmy or anything like that. Of course, there's no recoil on this gun, but you felt like you had a good purchase on it at all times. I really like the texture on it. It doesn't have any back straps or anything, but this gun's only 1.1 inches wide, so it's super narrow. Being that it's a 22 Magnum, it is the grip's a little deeper because you have to accommodate those rounds. But I tell you what, these magazines are still the highlight of the day. It's
very easy to load. I mean, we didn't notice any shell denting as you loaded it. I know that's been the problem with other manufacturers' guns is as you get 15, 20 rounds in, you start to dent the casings loading it just because of the spring tension. But we didn't see any of that. It performed flawlessly. No jams, no hang-ups. So that's always a positive.
Yeah, no, really great punch on this gun. Stainless steel construction. They have their black Armonite finish over the top, both the barrel and the slide. It uses the tempo barrel system like they do on the 5.7 pistol. So the gun doesn't unlock until it's supposed to. It's the way it's regulated with gas. So it's super reliable, super flat shooting. I mean, you could run this gun. You'll see in some of the videos where we're shooting. I mean, it's just fast as you want to pull the trigger, and that sight just is barely bumping off of the flat line there.
Makes it easy for follow-up shots. Also, too, on the grip, one thing I noticed is it's not very tapered in the front like some of the other older models of 22 Magnum semi-autos. It's very ergonomic. It fits great in the hand.
Yeah. You get the way it fits, you get a really good clean trigger press with this gun. I really like the way it feels. Being that it's only just a tick over an inch wide, be very comfortable to carry. The gun weighs 22 ounces unloaded, and even with 30 rounds of 22 Magnum ammunition, you're still talking very minimal weight-wise. Some people might say, what's the purpose of a 22 Magnum semi-automatic pistol? I'll tell you, 22 Magnum has always been, I'm an unabashed fan of it. It's always been one of my favorite cartridges. Most of my experience has been out of rifles, and it kills way out of proportion when it comes to varmints, predators, and stuff like that. Even out of a handgun, especially like in a single 6 and some of those others that we've shot, Smith & Wesson K-frames in 22 Magnums, they've been pretty potent. You pretty much get velocity out there that approximates a 22 long rifle out of a rifle, out of these handguns. You do get a little bit better bullet performance though, because the 22 Magnum bullets themselves are jacketed. They're not just lead washed. There's a lot of new 22 Magnum ammunition out there now. It's developed strictly for handguns. They have the powders are much faster burning. So a lot of the issues with 22 Magnums and handguns in the past is the 22 Magnum being a rifle cartridge, you would get a huge muzzle flash and a lot of times some inconsistent velocities. It wasn't really made to be shot out of a shorter barrel. The CCI Gold Dots, the Hornady Critical Defense, I believe Winchester has a Defender load now that are designed to be fired out of pistol caliber or out of pistol barrel lengths.
Yeah.
And Chris, I know you're a big ammo connoisseur yourself, and I know you've had a lot of good success with the Gold Dots in the 22 Magnum.
Yeah, I mean, I've used it in revolvers and semi-auto pistols for years now, and I haven't had any issues with it. It seems to be a very consistent load. Especially they do the nickel casings on those, so
extraction's real smooth.
Extraction smooth, feeding smooth. I mean, they're just it's a great ammo option for handguns.
And those little rounds, they expand and penetrate pretty decently.
Yeah, one of the great things I noticed about this gun when we were shooting it is the extraction was very positive. I mean, it was really kicking the shells out there, so it was clearing it out of your line of sight, and, which is great in a handgun.
Absolutely. I tell you what, when we were picking up the range later, there was just a huge pile of brass sitting in one spot. And so extraction not only was very positive, but very consistent. It wasn't flipping them all over the place. So I think that tempo barrel system really aids in the extraction and the reliability of these pistols. And so far I was super, super impressed, because 22 Magnum is a very hard round to get to work, because it's long and skinny. So it's got to make that jump from the magazine into the chamber. So there's a lot going on there. And there's a reason why there's not a lot of semi-automatic 22 Magnums out there. It's a hard gun to get to work. So kudos to Smith & Wesson for really doing a good job and also making the gun very ergonomic and very easy to shoot. Now speaking of shooting it too, not only did we shoot this gun at traditional pistol ranges, 10 to 15, 20 yards, we did a lot of shooting out at 75 and 100 as well. I know, Chris, you were having a lot of success hitting that steel silhouette.
Yeah, I mean, we were consistently hitting steel with it out the distance. It takes some adjustment, but again, it's not designed to shoot 100 yards out of a pistol. So I thought that was a very unique benefit to it.
Yeah, getting hits at distance with this gun was not super hard, especially with these sights. When you put a dot on this gun, I think it's legitimately going to be fairly easy to make extended distance shots with these guns. I think a little small, red dot or green dot, whatever you prefer, on a prairie dog town, you go blast with
You could have fun with that.
Some people might say, is this gun good enough for personal protection? And you know what? It very well could be. There's a lot of guys that I know that are out there that's been in law enforcement or been in seen a lot of autopsy stuff. And 22 Magnum is a deadly little round. It's nothing to sneeze at. And a lot of professional guys I know carry small double action J-frame size guns in 22 Magnum. It's easy to control, get a little bit more capacity, and the performance of the rounds are pretty good. So you put that in a 4.5 inch barrel with 31 rounds, it's pretty viable in my opinion, especially somebody who's extremely recoil sensitive. So I think this gun has application in the field and also as a personal protection piece. But Chris, you have any final thoughts or words on it?
No, I mean, I think it's great. I think everybody should get one as soon as they can. I mean, I didn't have any issues with it at all.
Yeah, I like the gun a lot. I already told Smith & Wesson they're not getting this one back. I'm getting this one. I'm gonna have to get with one of my leather guys and to get a holster made up, because I really see myself carrying this one in the field, especially in South Louisiana. 22 Magnum makes a lot of sense. A lot of varmints, a lot of predator type stuff. That this gun, it's light, it's handy, especially in the summer when it's hot. You don't want to carry a big steel frame gun around. But with this and an extra magazine, I've got 60 rounds that I can pretty much take care of anything that ever needs to be taken care of in the deep south for sure. I think guys who run trap lines up in the north, this could be a really viable piece as well. So go to LIPSEY'S.com, find a dealer in your area to get one on order. Go to all of our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and until next time, aim higher.